Jaime Munguia back in the ring. First fight with Top Rank, first fight on ESPN, first fight since we saw him in May lose to Canelo Alvarez. And he is going to be starting his own possible redemption tour and hopes of potentially getting a super middleweight championship, which he did not get in May. He's going to be fighting Erik Bazinyan, who is little known Armenian from Canada, who has kind of an inflated record, but Jaime Munguia does too. And that's what makes this interesting. Jaime Munguia is a minus 1,200 favorite and is nearing 50 fights for his career, despite the fact that he is only in his mid to late 20s. But Jaime Munguia is a big time power puncher, just has big time fight changing power. Even in this weight class, he has been able to stop some legitimate dudes. He stopped John Ryder, who had only been stopped one time in his career. Prior to fighting Jaime Munguia, Canelo Alvarez couldn't even stop him, even though he fought him in a small ring in Mexico. And Jaime Munguia was able to get to John Ryder to the point where he actually retired him. And John Ryder, the only other time that he was stopped before that, it was a questionable stoppage. Erik Bazinyan hasn't fought anybody of note, if I'm just being honest. And most of his fights have been in Montreal, in his hometown. And as a matter of fact, he's coming off a performance where he fought Shaquille Finn in May of this past year. And that was a draw, and it was a fight that he should have lost. But he got a hometown decision in his favor to the point where he did not lose this particular fight. Despite the fact that Bazinyan is 32-0-1 in his career with 23 knockouts and nearing 30 years old, he has never fought for a world title. This is the biggest fight of his career. He has only won regional titles in his career. NABF, NABA, NABO, titles that you probably don't care about, but they're regional level titles. Hasn't been in the ring with anybody that Jaime Munguia has been in the ring with. And Jaime Munguia is somebody who gets a lot of pushback because at 43-1 with 34 knockouts, he hasn't fought a ton of world-class opposition, but he's fought much better opposition than his opponent this weekend. So for this fight, it's a little bit difficult to project where this is going to ultimately land. I'm kind of leaning for now. We'll see what I actually log in the app. But I'm leaning for now, Jaime Munguia to get the stoppage between rounds 7 through 12. Erik Bazinyan is tough. He's going to come forward, and he hasn't been pushed a ton in his career, so we don't actually know like how good he's going to be. There's a world where Jaime Munguia ends this very quickly, but I think that between rounds 7 through 12 is where I would go from a conservative standpoint. That's plus 100 right now out there on the market. The way that I'm definitely going to play this though is Jaime Munguia by stoppage as a parlay leg. There are going to be things to parlay this with. We have an Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois fight video up right now. And what I like in that fight, I may parlay this with Jaime Munguia to get the stoppage right now out there on the market, minus 230. Minus 230 is why I don't want to play it by itself. So that's likely going to be a parlay leg with Anthony Joshua, maybe with some football. There's a Richard Torres Jr. fight on the undercard. He is absolutely going to knock out his opponent in this particular fight. But I think that Jaime Munguia is going to get the stoppage. And if I have to be pinned down to group round betting for more value, we're looking at 7 through 12 right now, but that is not a play. That's more of a lean. We'll see how I eventually put it on the app, but definitely taking the stoppage as a parlay leg at a minimum. That's all we have for this week. And as I alluded to, please check out our other fight video for this week. Anthony Joshua looking to regain heavyweight championship gold. He's going to fight Daniel Dubois for an IBF title. That's going to be at Wembley Stadium, and it's going to be a massive, massive fight, likely that ends in a knockout. So check that out as well. And if you do bet on these fights, track your picks on the Action Network app and bet responsibly. Take care and enjoy the fights.